Greetings and salutations, Driver here. Today I'm excited to talk about the APR cold air intake. This one happens to be the APR OpenPEX intake system. That's right. Here's the APR part number. Now if you're watching this video, you're likely interested in this exact same unit. While I don't want to get into whether or not a cold air intake adds or robs power, I will share my opinion of this and show a before and after speed run, which should paint a fairly clear picture. Now I normally start with an unboxing, but this simply came in a large box packed with popcorn packing and pulled out exactly as you see here. Let's jump right into the install. What you see here is how the car came from VW. I already have the APR Stage 1 tune, the APR coil packs, and cold air spark plugs, but no other modifications to the engine, and I'm still running the factory exhaust. Installation couldn't be any easier. I disconnect the secondary air pipe and then the vacuum line. The vacuum line was on pretty tight and I didn't want to tear it, so I used a screwdriver to help pry it off. I then used the hose clamp plier to remove the factory inlet tube. At this point, the factory air box can be pulled off. The factory air box is held in place by 3 rubber mounts. With the air box removed, you can clearly see these 3 posts. The new intake simply clips onto the same posts. Remember that vacuum line we pulled off earlier? That gets plugged in here. I plugged that in first so I can ensure that it's done correctly and on firmly. Then with a little work, you'll get the new intake clipped in place. I used my hose clamp pliers and reconnect the factory inlet tube. Ensure this is on snug. Then you can install the secondary air filter. This does not come with the intake and needs to be ordered separately. Here's the part number for that. This part perfectly inserts and clips in the factory tube. Find a spot for it and zip tie it out of the way. The secondary air filter comes with a few zip ties. Then I check the install of everything one last time and admire how it looks. Now that I've been running this air intake for the last 7 months, I can definitely say there's been an increase in engine noise above 3,000 RPMs. It kind of growls. It is subtle, but it's still there. I personally think it sounds great. But the real reason why we're here is, did it make the car faster? Did it increase power? So like all my other speed runs that I've done, I'm simply going to run from 50 to 100 kilometers per hour in second gear and time it with my GPS camera. Let's have a peek at that. As you can see, there was no discernible difference using the specific metric. So whether or not it added or subtracted horsepower, it was such a minor amount that it made no difference to the performance of this car at this horsepower level. Depending on your modifications, your mileage may vary, of course. So should you buy this cold air intake system? I don't want to answer that question for you. That's something you'll have to determine on your own. I've shown you the before with the stock intake, and I've shown you the after with the cold air intake. This is with the Stage 1 tune. Okay, not to justify my purchase, but I almost had to find out on my own, and so many other YouTubers mentioned the induction noise, and as subtle as it is something. So it does kind of add to the driver experience. I've also never purchased a cold air intake system before. This is my first. The price was decent enough in my mind, not being the carbon fiber one, so I took a jump at it. I will say I'm also not done modifying my car, and maybe, just maybe, the combined components altogether will be greater than the sum of individual parts added up. if that makes any sense. Hopefully, maybe. All right, well, that's it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.